Welcome back to another episode of God Body Supernatural Health, Fitness, and Athletics. Topic of discussion today, none other than let's go. Oh-wee. All right. Wilder Fury 3. Yo, we touching up before it even goes down. All right. So this is what's going on. Mercury Retrograde. You know, it was a cancellation the last time. It was about to be on the full moon too. So we already know some magic shit was going on. Black magic, voodoo, or white magic. Who knows? Whatever. But this time, it's the new moon. Libra. The new moon in Libra dealing with the what? The justice scale, the judgment. Come on now. And this happens to be Wilder's birthday zodiac sign. Come on, man. The justice scale holder. And when you're vibrating at such a level, Libra energy, you're vibrating at the highest level that you can possibly vibrate on.
Yes, my people, gather round. It is happening again. 5th round.
Now.
15 seconds, yo. It's been shown and proven already by a source on the internet that is respected, especially now. Alright, so let's go ahead and just recap real quick about the fight of Wilder and Fury. And let's go.
All right, so the fight was rescheduled. It was going to be on the full moon in July. Got rescheduled because of the C word. You know, it don't even matter because they're going to put the thing under the screen anyways. I ain't even say the word. So anyhow, 3 months later, October. So July, August, September, October. On the new moon, let's see, Wilder's born day. He is in the Libra constellation, according to the tropical, zodiac. Now, beings who know the science of fights, they know they're going to have the spirituality behind them. Like Muhammad Ali, he had my man that was real cool with that, basically making up the rhymes and shit. You know what I mean? And he had Angelo Dundee, he had a cut man and all of that. He had a good team. Floyd Mayweather, same difference. Had ones that were good with the raps, the cuts, the actual speaking, motivation, keeping the mug highly elevated. So it's the same thing when you're dealing with, very, very high prestigious bouts. You have to utilize these key elements like astrology, when to take fights, knowing the right time. This is how swift you gotta be. You can't just be doing fights at a certain time. It may not be favorable for you. The fight game finna change. You'll see how true individuals who were on the A side planned the actual date and time of the fights. And I'm not talking about the dates of when, Mexican holidays and stuff like that. I'm talking about dates that led up to that point, which will allow you to be able to believe in yourself, which is the most high, and have the faith to be able to win and will to win at the same time and carry it out from using your talent and being genius. So yeah, when you're dealing with the fight game, you're dealing with people supposedly who did voodoo, they say, in the second fight of Fury and Wilder. Wilder didn't know how to explain it, but he knew something was wrong. But my suit, damn, something's in the glove. Nigga, you doing something? What the fuck, man? And then you got this fight, the third one, 5th round. 15 seconds pass. My man Fury couldn't even get really stable. They allowed him and allowed the ref to start the count from the same number when the mug laid down type shit. Now understand this.
They have count men on the side of the ring. I'm pretty sure individuals know that. And if they don't, well, here's a jewel. Once the count man start counting, the ref looks over at the count man just in case he loses some type of attention towards the fight, because it's hysterical and theatrical going on in this bitch. Everybody yelling, the mothers is falling on the ground like another man that made him do it, and it's like, oh shit, and they make sure it was fair shit, so you can be like, oh, it's a fair knockout, nigga, you know what I'm saying, shit like that.
The count men give him the number to start the count on. So if the count men was like at 3 or 4, it's like, okay, you're at 3, he look over at the count man. That's his job. And once he looks over at the count man gives him the answer, and the answer is like, oh, okay, we carry on from there. But as we can see in this bout, that didn't happen. Now you can say whatever you want to say. It's okay. The bout's over, you know. But if we look at it legitimately, it's just like a Mike Tyson type of Buster Douglas thing, when Mike actually knocked Douglas down and allowed him to get the long count. All right, so yeah, back to resetting it for the retrograde, which is a Mercury retrograde dealing with
an intellectual planet that they say spins backwards. And when this happens, the intellect of the people think of past events, loves, friendships, just the science of nature in itself, of things that occurred, and reminisce. May have to go through those things again to see what you missed, to see if something needs to be fixed, or to perfect something once it come back around again. The fight, henceforth. Now that is set in the Mercury retrograde season with the new moon in Libra, justice was balanced. But however, the retrograde was there, and it was set up as far as like to see what went wrong in the previous 2 fights. Wilder began to understand, but he didn't understand the science and the depth of the spiritual nature behind the whole date.
You can look at the numerical number and be like, oh, yeah, that's what, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, you have to look at the science of the moon. Not what they say with the moon, but when you observe it yourself, when it turns half, full, quarter, and, you know, crescent type.
Winding and waxing. Hence, you can understand the science of the creator, how everything is just lined up. And you're pretty much supposed to understand how to ascend. You're not supposed to be in the coolest state that you're in right now.
But anyhow, though, this is supernatural health, fitness, and athletics. So this is the supernatural athletics part, dealing with the sports. You know, that's the sub-factor type shit. All right. But yeah, with this, you may not have been, you know, voodoo-ish things. But yeah, of course, when you're in the public eye, you're going to have multiple
spell works being done against you. This is why your aura and your light has to be strong. No releasing, semen retention, things of that nature to show and prove the true reality of who you are and the nature of your physical being and spiritual being here on this corporeal world, which is physical plane.
Like, yo, if you disrespect that, yeah, of course, your energy will be down. But it ain't gonna matter what you take. It won't be up like you want it or need it to be. Your light will be dimmed. And thus, they, lower entities and vibrational beings, can attack. And when I say attack, they can attach. And that could probably have happened as well. That's why when you're dealing with psychology with the fight, you're dealing with, you know, Wilder, he's having the headphones on because psychologically, this man, Fury, can get into his mind. And if you look at it, Fury doesn't even look like a real fighter. He just came out of nowhere, really, and just started whooping ass type shit. Like, they just put him in the game like it was a made-up character. If you look at the movements, people nowadays, they actually do get hypnotized to fight. Mike Tyson did it, you know. A few fighters do. They know that it's more beneficial for them because they can be more concentrating on that if their brain is focused on it. Yeah, certain things can be dangerous, but, you know, hey, if you do it correctly, then you'll know and understand the science behind it. Like, yo, this is what really goes down. They've been dealing with hypnosis for a long time with individuals, you know, finding out the science of spirituality and behind spirituality, knowing that when mugs do transition, that they go into a higher density. Shit, you're building your body up there. So yeah, anyhow, supernatural once again. So yeah, with my man Wilder, it's like, you know, everything was right and exact, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing you could do about it, you know, except just like cold knock the motherfucker out. And that's the thing, they weren't gonna let that happen and shit, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, you know, they wanted to make an example, of course. But now that we know this and we have the social media and the YouTube, things can't just get past as easy as they once did. You know, Muzz is actually peeping the game, and it don't matter if you're black or white or whatever in the hell. So it just matters the frequency. This is what allows you to be able to have morale to ascend. If you really don't see the error in your ways, then it's like, hey, shit, you will be punished. And it's like, you know, certain areas for that punishment. Certain rulers to rule over those punishments for a certain time to have those judgments and carried out. So yeah, in the physical realm, these things was going down, and if it's some form of cheating, whether it's the glove, whether it's the breath, giving long counts, you know what I mean? Those things are binded into heaven as well, and upon transitioning as well. Because when you're in this world and you be given into this world and you start to become of the world, then yeah, the world will find a way to make you lose, because you're dealing with a narcissistic entity. And you got to find out the own narcissism inside of your own self. Yet, don't feel a certain way, you know what I'm saying? You can't tell yourself how to feel, but to not react a certain way, even though you win. Sometimes you can have a good mask on and be really excited, like, hold it, like, yeah. But you be excited, but I'm talking about, but not like, you know, on some old big eye little you. Like, we did it. Ain't y'all proud that we seen this though? You know what I'm saying? That type of way. Be, you know, subtle, like, yeah, we did it. And be proud that we seen this happen. You know? So, yeah, we as an audience who watched the fight or was very much, you know, entertained and shit, because these beings were 277 pounds, 238 pounds, man. These muzzles slinging them. And 230, that's 40 pounds less than this man. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter what it is. You know, that's like having a 138 pounder fighting a 177 pounder, man. Shit. Let's just call it like it is, you know? And he knocked that big ass motherfucker down. That's just plain and simple. So as we look at it like that, well, of course, Wilder don't get no stripes for that, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like who you want to be, who you're liked for, or who you're liked from. And that's what black men has been caught up by in America, of like being accepted over and over and over and over again, man. They done killed so many people, you know, especially upon giving them new saviors and beings. That's like, yo, I'm here to save you. And you know, and upon, you know, the transition, these beings have been placed into their hands, like, here, gift wrapped and shit, you know what I'm saying? So this is the science of what we're dealing with in this reality. And the same thing gets, like, you know, in the boxing world, which explains the world's standing in that day and time.